Hey guys and gals, this is Alex with the Kansas City Multifamily Minute here in Kansas City. This is Alex with Legendary Apartment Brokers coming to you every single week as we talk about all the new listings that hit on the open market that are multifamily. I'll tell you the class, location, rating. I'll tell you price per unit, how it might fit into your 1031 exchange, and any other tidbits I might have on every single new listing that hits the open market. So every single week, we're going to talk about some statistics. So what's new on the market? What's already out there? So first of all, what's already out there? So over here on the MLS, I got my website pulled up, legendarypowerbrokers.com. MLS powers the listings found on this site on my website. There's 72 listings that are out there that are multifamily that are $500,000 plus that were built before 2020. So right in the wheelhouse of where active investors are looking at. And of those, like I said, there's 72 of those. And there's 66 available, which means that 6 are under contract. But that means there's 66 you can go out there and buy. And as for this week, it shows that there's 3 here. There's some crossover between LoopNet, so we'll talk about that. But there's three new listings we'll talk about very briefly here on the MLS. And then you might understand and go, okay, well, hang on a second. There used to be 80. There used to be more than that. What's going on here? Well, to be honest with you, I had 3 or 4, maybe even 5 closings in the last 10 days or so that have wiped out some of these listings that are $500,000 plus. So that's why you're seeing that number drop down to 72 listings with 6 under contract because a lot of mine have closed out, okay? So that's here on the MLS. Now, what about LoopNet? So LoopNet shows we got 38 that are out there. 37 are available, which means they're showing 1 is under contract. They're showing 2 new listings. There's a crossover here. So really for the whole week, we've got 4 total listings. So I'm going to actually, for podcast listeners, hop back over here to my website, legendarypowerbrokers.com, talk about these 3 new listings quickly and see how they might fit in for your 1031 exchange, if at all. So first up, let's talk about this property, Historic Northeast. Remember, I don't spend a ton of time up here, but this is Historic Northeast, west side of Historic Northeast, off of Independence Avenue. Not a bad location, really. Looks like it's 18 units for $1.625. That's $90,000 per unit. I would put this at a C- or D+ kind of location. It is block by block specific. You'd have to drive up and down the street, see what you think of it. Rents here, actually you get pretty decent rents here. It's just a matter of if you want to deal with the headaches of the area that sometimes you could have in this area. But if you've got a 1031 exchange, active real estate investor, like the urban core kind of stuff, I do think this could be a good fit for you, at least on the surface with a cost per unit, and the location's not terrible. So something to think about there for your 1031 exchange, okay? All right, so let's zoom back out here. What else we got? What's new on the market this week? We got 2 other ones. This one I'm not even going to talk about for more than 2 seconds. This one is, well, actually, where did that go? All right, so anyway, we are going to talk about this one because this is in Raytown. So this is a Raytown property, Class C, location here in Raytown, 6 units for $660. It's been rehabbed to a degree. I may say to a degree. You can always make it better, but it's pretty nice inside. LVP flooring, still has white white appliances and oak finishing on the cabinets. But you get what I'm saying. It's nicer than it has been in the past. So it's $660,000. That's $110,000 per unit. Class C location. If these are all 2 bedrooms, you should be able to get, $950 or so per unit. Looks like might have washer and dryer in units. So you've got a pretty decent basis there. It's just on a price per unit basis. Class C location might not be a great fit, but if it is nicely rehabbed to your standards, could be interesting to take down and take a look at because it is more townhouse style. They all have their own entrance, etc. So Class C location, $110,000 per unit. Could be a good fit for 1031 exchange if you're in that $600,000-$700,000 price range you need to be at, okay? All right, so final MLS new listing this week is actually going to be up in Independence on the north side, actually. This is a pretty decent part of Independence, in my opinion, up here off 24 Highway. It's off of Forest Avenue. It is, I believe let me just pull this up here. Yeah, so it's 12 units for $895,000, which is about $74,000 per unit. Class C location. It's pretty well maintained. Looks pretty, decent, classic condition, but well maintained. Probably smaller units, so to speak, but interesting to take a look at from a price per unit standpoint. I like it. If you want value add properties that are, priced okay, $74,000 per unit. Pretty good price, honestly. Again, Class C location. If they're 2 bedrooms, you should be able to get, with maybe some improved finishes here, 900,000 or 950 or so on the price for your rentals there. So it could be a good fit for 1031 exchange if you've got maybe $850 to $900,000. You want to spend maybe $950 including rehab. So something to think about when you're looking at this. Okay. Okay, so that's everything on the open market here on the MLS. Now let's hop on back over here to LoopNet. We briefly showed you here. So there's a couple new properties here. I already talked about the Thompson property in the historic Northeast. This other property, I'll zoom in, podcast listener, just real quick. It's east of 71, south of 70. Typical Class D location, although it is very block by block specific. So it could fit into your 1031 exchange. It just depends, again, if you're okay with the urban core, high density type of areas. So take a look at that. It's a 4-plex for $339,000. Price per unit seems okay, but again, it could be a Class D kind of area, submarket of Kansas City. So not sure how much time I'd spend on it there. Okay, but that's everything on the open market this week. That's give you some statistics. Look forward to hearing from you. Got any questions? You want to talk about any of these or others? Email me, alex@legendaryapartmentbrokers.com. We'll talk soon.